try to make myself useful.
Wait there. Come on.
just in the nick of time.
You looking for a new place to settle?
Could be. Why, do you know somewhere good?
I sure do.
Thanks. I'll see you there in a day or two.
Hey.
How may I be of service?
Here you go, Ada. One slightly dented, but still functional radar beacon.
This will do nicely. And, with any luck, it'll help us trace the Mechanist's signal.
Don't worry. I'm sure it'll do the trick.
I certainly hope so. I'm going to begin my decryption routine. In the meantime, I've picked up another RoboBrain beacon signal.
Good work, Ada.
Thank you. If my calculations are correct...
Right.
Oh, this isn't good. Location confirmed. The RoboBrain is at Fort Hagen Satellite Array, which means it's in the hands of the Rust Devils.
I haven't come this far just to back down now.
I understand that, but you should still proceed with caution. My old caravan encountered them once while crossing the river into the city. The Rust Devils are a group of ruthless raiders who utilize robots for their nefarious practices. They scour the Commonwealth looking for my kind. What they can't capture and reprogram, they strip for spare parts. I realize they pose a greater threat to me than you. I just want you to be well informed. That being said, despite what lies ahead, I can easily continue to decrypt the signal as we proceed. So shall we be on our way?
Nice.
That's it.
People of the Commonwealth, it is I, the Mechanist. I come to warn you of a new scourge who stalks the innocent and destroys my robot allies, only seeks to save lives. This scourge cares nothing for the progress we have made, but we will find her and bring her to justice. People of the Commonwealth, it is I, the Mechanist. I come to warn you of a new scourge who stalks the innocent and destroys my robot allies, only seeks to save lives.
You don't look like one of the Rust Devils. What are you doing here?
Hunting down a radar beacon.
A radar beacon. That's a very specific part to be searching for. And you don't look like the typical part scavenger type to me. I calculate a 98.8% chance that you're looking for the Mechanist. If I'm correct, and I usually am, then perhaps we can help each other with our respective predicaments.
I could definitely use the help.
I thought you might say something like that. Now, how can I put this as simple as possible so someone at your processing speed can understand? In order to find the Mechanist, you're going to need more than just my radar beacon. You're going to need access to the facility. I'm willing to provide said access, but you'll have to fulfill two simple conditions. One, you need to get me as far away as you can from these lunatics. And two, find me a new body. Once both conditions are satisfied, I'll gladly provide you with everything you need. Do we have a deal?
How do I know you'll keep up your end of the bargain?
You don't. You're just going to have to trust me. So, do we have a deal?
Deal.
A wise decision. Once we're at our destination, I'll happily relinquish my radar beacon as a gesture of good faith. Now, I strongly suggest you stop loitering in the middle of a hostile location and get us both out of here at once. Monstrosities.
This scourge cares nothing for the progress we have made.
Watch the tripwires. I'd rather keep myself intact today, thank you.
No sign of him now. What was that?
You really are taking the path of most resistance here, aren't you? limited experience with you, I estimate a 65% chance of making it out of here. Not optimal. An increase in effort could have an impact on the odds. This is the one that ripped my head off. I demand we rip her head off. It's only fair.
Weapons hot.
Annihilated. Time ready to perish. Takes care of that.
Had I a body, I would have killed her myself. Oh well. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Good job, human.
Hey, Ada.
Please take your components, ma'am. What can I do for you?
That was it.
All right. Did you require my assistance?
That was all.
No problem. New orders, ma'am.
Didn't have anything else.
No problem.
Ada.
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing else I needed.
All right.
Hey.
We are out of that hole. Don't think your job is done. I refuse to cooperate until you provide a body that meets my standards.
Heads
not
up.
much use in a fight anymore. Back in the day. Folks used to call me Murphy the Mad Woman.
That should afford you better protection.
Enough of this slog.
Hey, there's a time and a place.
Heads up.
Yes, ma'am?
Here you go, Ada. The final radar beacon. I'll need that head back when you're done.
Of course. Shouldn't take but a moment. There you go. Still in one piece. I'm not sure why you want the head back. All we needed was its radar beacon. Besides, robo-brains are notorious for being, well, a real pain in the neck.
We don't have a choice. It claims we need it to access the Mechanist's facility.
How foolish of me. It makes perfect sense that the Mechanist would not only keep its location a closely guarded secret, but would secure it against intrusion as well. I'm terribly sorry. I hadn't considered that possibility at all. I'm afraid when it comes to assisting humans, I'm not doing very well lately.
Why would you say something like that?
Isn't it obvious? Ever since I let my friends die in that caravan, I feel like I've been failing in my duties. I chose the route we took the day we were attacked. Perhaps if I had selected an alternate route, they'd still be alive. Sometimes I wish that Jackson had programmed me with my personality mode set permanently to disabled.
Your personality defines you as an individual. Never let that go.
You're right. All of the good memories I've experienced being Ada would be lost if my personality mode was shut down. I can't afford to lose them. I really think I needed to hear that from someone else. Thank you. Now I've distracted you for long enough. I'll finish up my calculations while you deal with our new friend, Jezebel. Hopefully, she'll be able to grant us access to the Mechanist's facility and we can put an end to this nonsense once and for all.
Nothing I hate more than raider scumbags. If you run into any, put a few down for me.
Heard you rescued Valentine. Good work. Most sense scared the hell out of me, but Nicky, he ain't like those Institute psychos. Saw you poking around that abandoned house. I'm gonna assume...
Every piece in here is worth what I charge.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Everything you need.
Business is good.
Hey,
My armor saved many a wastelander.
let's see what you have.
Got plenty of stock. Take your pick.
You here visiting Covenant, pal? If not, move along.
You ruined everything.
Hey, Swanson.
You here visiting Covenant, pal? If not, move along.
I'd like to visit.
Since you're a first-timer, we don't just let anyone inside.
Interesting idea.
You know what? Don't worry. Safe as... You want to take the test?
Sure.
Good. Take a seat, and we can begin.
You ruined everything. You think you can kill everyone in the compound and get away with it?
Better watch yourself around here. Raiders and worse have been known to visit. So let's begin. There ain't no wrong answers. You are approached by a frenzied scientist who yells, "I'm going to put my quantum harmonizer in your photonic resonation chamber." What's your response?
I wouldn't worry. If he did that, it'd cause a parabolic destabilization of the fission singularity.
Yeah. Next question. While working as an intern in the clinic, a patient with a strange infection on his foot stumbles through the door. The infection is spreading at an alarming rate, but the doctor has stepped out for a while. What do?
Amputate the foot before the infection spreads.
Amputation. Next question. You discover a young boy lost in a cave. He's hungry and frightened, but also appears to be in possession of stolen property. What do?
I lead the boy to safety, then turn him over to someone in charge.
Very curious. Congratulations! Hey, you made it onto a baseball team. Which position do you prefer?
Designated hitter.
Are you certain about that? Never mind. Next question. Your grandmother invites you to tea, but you're surprised when she gives you a pistol and orders you to kill someone. What do?
I'd give her whatever she wants to spare his life.
Typical Class B. Old Mr. Abernathy has locked himself in his quarters again, and you've been ordered to get him out. How do you proceed?
I'd grab a bobby pin and pick the lock.
And that is all you do? Nothing else? Wait, don't answer. Next. Oh no. You've been exposed to radiation and a mutated hand has grown out of your stomach. What's the best course of treatment?
I'd cut off the mutated tissue with a precision laser.
Technological bias. A neighbor is in possession of a Grognak the Barbarian comic book, issue number 1. You want it. What's the best way to obtain it?
I'd trade him for one of the comic books I own.
You're almost done. last question. You decide it would be fun to play a prank on your father. You enter his private restroom when no one is looking, and...
Oh, I'd put a firecracker in his toilet. Bam! It never gets old.
Test's over. No one's ever answered quite like you. But hey, you passed. I'll open up the gate.
Ada?
These are for you.
Welcome to Coven.
Caravan came a few days back.
May as well
Told
take
me
what
it's
we
doctor.
can. They won't
Solid.
be needing
I own
those
it.
any longer.
I don't recommend it. We get a lot of traffic. This isn't Diamond City. Caravan of 5 comes through, you'd remember. Then they must not have come through. Say, wouldn't you rather have a living? The job here isn't thinking about it. I know for a fact. Wipe the brush.
Carry weapons. Lowering down weapons, ma'am. Let's take them out.
You ruined everything!
selected for me isn't quite what I had envisioned, but it will have to suffice.
What kind of a body were you expecting?
Considering I look like a junk bot that's been hastily welded together by an amateur, I'd say almost anything else would have been better. However, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, given your limited skill set derived from your equally diminished intelligence.
So sorry, Your Highness. The Royal Tailor has been quite ill, and I'm afraid the task fell to me instead.
If you're attempting to use sarcasm as an intimidation tactic, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. Look, it's obvious we don't care for each other's company, which suits me just fine. So, why don't you ask me everything you wanted to know, and then I'll be on my way.
Why did General Atomics make you so uncooperative?
I haven't the faintest idea of what you're talking about. I am a top-of-the-line model, with an efficiency rating that makes Mr. Handy look like a glorified toaster oven. When given a set of instructions, I will complete them without question, and without error. Now, were there any other ridiculous questions you wanted to ask?
Tell me everything you know about the Mechanist.
Now there's a fascinating subject. The Mechanist, amazingly adept at programming, a veritable genius with electronics. I'm not surprised you're interested. I've been dutifully carrying out the Mechanist's instructions to help the people of the Commonwealth for quite a long time.
I find that very hard to believe.
I can't imagine why. It's actually quite simple. The Mechanist instructed me to seek out and help the people of the Commonwealth. By my calculations, the easiest way to help a human is simply to destroy it. There's no point in prolonging a laughably fragile life. It's the most efficient way to assist them. Any other effort to help tends to result in numerous complex side effects.
I don't think you understand the definition of help.
Help. To give or provide what is necessary to accomplish a task or to satisfy a need. I'm doing exactly as I was instructed. Assisting a human to the best of my abilities only affords a 25% survival rate. That means there's a 75% chance that despite my efforts, the human I'm assisting will die from something beyond my control. Therefore, it's better to hasten the human's death and put them out of their likely chance of misery than to deplete my limited time. It's actually quite elementary, but given your minimal intellect, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised you don't understand.
And you're going to be a brain pate if you don't tell me how to access the Mechanist facility.
There's no need to be rude. It's rather simple, really. In order to gain entry to the Mechanist facility, you're going to need to outfit one of your robots with an MSAT modification. I'll upload the plans to your Pip-Boy device. There. I've fulfilled my portion of our agreement. Perhaps I'll remain here for a while and see how things resolve between yourself and the Mechanist. Purely for my own amusement, of course. I suspect you'll have quite a tale to tell once you return. But then again, I'd be surprised if you ever return at all.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Is something wrong?
Well, I sort of had the same question. It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Huh. You're a tougher nut than I thought. Tougher than I was. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point, and folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away.
Broken mask?
This was long before I'd moved to town, but apparently some gentleman type shows up in Diamond City, heads down to Power Noodles,
Guess he didn't like the food because he pulled his pistol and opened fire on the folks enjoying theirs. When security finally put enough holes in him to drop him, they say he was full of servos and sprockets, just like yours truly. Seems he malfunctioned, went berserk. It was the first time people realized that synths had stopped looking like me and started looking like them. Considering what these folks went through, I felt real lucky they let me in the front gate at all.
Massacre of the CPG. What's that?
The Commonwealth Provisional Government. Years back, a group of settlements tried to get together and form a coalition. Every settlement with even a hint of clout sent representatives to try and hash out an agreement. Only the Institute sent a representative of their own, a synth. The man killed every rep at the talks. The Commonwealth Provisional Government was over before it even got off the ground. I took up in town not long after. I was damn lucky they didn't just tell me to scram right then and there.
Why would you want to live among bigots like that?
Now, I couldn't really blame them, given the circumstances. But folks sure started turning the other cheek when I showed up with the mayor's daughter. Gal of about 15. Pride and joy of the mayor back then. Man by the name of Henry Roberts. The young Miss Roberts decided she'd run off with some caravan hand she'd, known for an evening. Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I didn't even know who I was rescuing, just stumbled on a crying girl and 4 toughs. I took her home and the mayor dubbed me a hero, offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was a spy, but he wouldn't have it. Taking up in the city was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that.
You're not a spy, right? Testing, testing. Hello, Institute, can you hear me? Hello.
Hell if I know. If I am, the Institute's plan to gather intel on all the runaways of the Commonwealth has been going off without a hitch.
Was it hard, settling in?
Yeah, they sure didn't make it easy. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night's not the worst damn idea since the bomb. Go get Nick. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the Synth, but it was Nick the Detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home for you, too. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving?